ruling. Supreme Court is now in politics. And she said that the ruling was inspired by God. I believe it was inspired by the devil. From our history as a country, we know this is an indication of a very disturbed conscience. It is the evidence of a court that sold its soul. The actions of the Chief Justice are clearly sycophantic. She has demeaned the dignity of the office of Chief Justice. In less than a year, she has destroyed what her predecessors achieved in 10 years. As if this is not bad enough, there's clearly a push by the executive to own the judiciary through illegal actions that amount to bribery. That is the reason for the rush to appoint 6 judges and to allocate money to the judiciary. That is the reason for the rush by the executive to allocate specific amount of money to the judiciary. Financial allocation to institutions and state agencies is done by Parliament based on a scrutiny of budget proposals presented by the institutions. In this case, the executive has given itself that role. It is a plain attempt to capture the judiciary through bribery. How else do you say, I'm going to give the judiciary every 3 years, I'm going to increase your budget by 3 billion shillings? How do you know how much judiciary requires? This year, next year, 10 years from now. Judiciary. As I stated throughout the campaign, we believe a separation of powers between the 3 arms of government. There should have been a victory for the rule of law and democracy in Kenya and across Africa, democracy in our country.
So this
Today,
is just to heighten that awareness.
About where
Raila Odinga,
we did give them a ruling in their favor by dismissing, by nullifying election of our sitting president, and then they refused to run in the subsequent election which had been ordered by the judiciary. We did not refuse. We demanded of the Iebc to rectify those mistakes which had led to the nullification of the elections. And they refused to do so. So us participating in the subsequent election would have meant doing the same thing, the same way, expecting different results. That is the reason why we refused to participate. And it was after a lot of soul searching, and the country knows the details. But this is how it starts. We know how it will end and what the cost of it will be. In the 1960s and 70s, it started as a war against specific individuals and communities. By the time it was full bloom, no Kenyan was safe from the state terror. It has started again. You have 3 urgent tasks that we must not fail in, and on which we must embark on immediately. 1, save the judiciary, which is offering itself for state capture. 2, transform and reform the Iebc and make it capable of conducting credible elections. 3, to stop the legislature from offering itself for state capture and have it play its oversight role over the government. Parliament must say no to attempts by a rogue executive to intimidate and profile civil servants and security agencies. Parliament must stand up and preserve our multi-party politics, like statements by Deputy President that the DCI has no business going to offices, DCI should wait. The DCI is not going to offices. Agencies that go to offices is not the DCI. But DCI's role is to carry out investigations of crime.